really excited that we were having a baby, and everything was great. You know, the initial appointments that we had were fine. We did the first appointment where we heard the heartbeat, and then we went in for our 12-week ultrasound, and I was still active. I was doing yoga, prenatal yoga, I was walking a lot, and I felt really good.
It's so relieving to get the results on those tests and the ultrasounds and the blood work, and know that everything is going well, especially if you're doing your part and you have the medical providers telling you that everything's going to be okay.
I started not feeling right. I don't really know how to explain it. I think other pregnant moms out there might know when you just kind of feel a little bit off. And it was my first pregnancy, so I wasn't sure if I was having contractions or what, so I called Dr. Levy.
So we put her on a monitor which showed that she was having regular contractions. So we sent her over to the hospital for more monitoring and evaluation.
My biggest memory of being in the hospital is laying awake at night, listening to the baby's heartbeat. At night, the nurses would want to turn down the volume of the fetal heart monitor, and I would keep turning it up just because I just needed to hear it. And I would just close my eyes and say, like, okay, baby, you have to stay in, you have to stay in. So, sorry. It was very scary, and I knew that that baby was not ready to come out at 29 weeks.
Preterm delivery accounts for 10 to 12% of all deliveries, yet it accounts for 85% of perinatal morbidity and mortality.
I got home and I was put on pretty much strict bed rest, so I was only allowed to get up to take a shower, go to the bathroom, and I was allowed to cheat by coming to the kitchen and maybe making myself a very quick sandwich.
You don't ever really go to sleep and get a good night's sleep. You don't. You just wonder what's going to happen next, and how do we keep this baby in?
When I was 35 weeks and 4 days, I woke up that morning and things were different.
We went to the doctor's appointment, and he said, it's time. Let's do this now.
We delivered her, and it was a girl, which was great. You know, it's a really fun thing to hear. It's a girl. But then things got scary again. She was having some gurgling noises, and they had a NICU team in there.
That's probably the most intense moment ever, because you want to count those fingers and toes. You want to know, how is she, you know, what's going on?
She was 5 pounds, 1 ounce. And, you know, we weren't completely out of the woods yet. The doctors had said we'd have to see how the next couple of days were going to go in terms of her being 35 weeks and 5 days a late preterm infant. She was teeny weeny, and she was okay, and she got to come home with us, and we're really fortunate for that. We're very lucky that we didn't have to spend any time in the NICU, because that's not the story that a lot of other families have. When I got pregnant with Rocco, Lou was only 10 months old, so we got pregnant pretty quickly again.
The biggest risk factor for preterm delivery is having a prior preterm delivery. So in these patients, we offer a medication called 17-alpha hydroxyprogesterone, and it has been shown to reduce future preterm deliveries by 1/3.
I started doing a lot of research on it because I actually didn't know what it was. And so I had to sort of dig deep and find out how it was being used and where it was from, and you know, that's how I got to know that the March of Dimes was, and their research was behind that shot. I gave birth at 39 weeks and 3 or 4 days, and he was almost 7 pounds, and he was my perfect plump baby that I got to bring home. I credit taking Rocco to full term all to that shot.
The March of Dimes is helping families live healthier, happy lives.
The research that they've done to help somebody like me is incredible.
For 75 years, they've been helping families. And I hope that in the event that Lou and Rocco have kids, the March of Dimes is going to be there, and their research for the next 75 years is going to help their kids and their grandkids and develop better techniques and medicines so that when these complications arise, they can get through it.
You never know if it's going to happen to you or not.
It doesn't matter if you do everything right. You eat right, you exercise, you don't use illicit drugs, you don't smoke, you can do everything absolutely perfect, and sometimes people have preterm delivery.
I just can't thank the March of Dimes enough for helping me have these two healthy kids that I don't have to worry anymore about Lou having been a preemie. And then I had a full-term baby with Rocco, and we're ready to take on any adventure, and it's great. It's wonderful, and they're a blessing, and we're having a blast. I couldn't ask for anything more.
I just couldn't be more blessed that the March of Dimes came through when we needed them the most. And that's why we want to support them. For all those families that maybe didn't have an outcome like we did, just to understand that what they're going through. You go to their walks and you see the other kids, and it's hard. It's really hard to see that a child in pain, or nobody wants to see that. And unless that we can have of that, that's the whole goal, and that's why we, our family, want to be involved in the March of Dimes, because if we can do that for as many families as possible and help them in their mission, that's happier families.